Okay, so tell me if I'm right. You are doing all of the things, right? Maybe it's the breath work, it's the meditation, it's the journaling, it's hitting that pause button when you need to reset. But real talk, why are you still feeling wrecked at the end of the day? Like, no amount of sleep is making you feel better. Well, can I be real with you? Burnout isn't just about stress. It's where your energy is actually being hijacked. So your biofield is leaky. When it's leaky or it's porous or even scrambled, there is no amount of rest that's gonna hit right. You can't pour into yourself if you are a leaky cup or you've got a cup that has a bunch of holes, fam. So maybe you're the go to person at work, or you're the person who is soaking up all your family's fills, you're holding space for everybody. Or if you were like me last weekend at Coachella, listening to the sound waves, from every different direction, but still trying to stay grounded, but it pulled you left and right. So you are either A, have your energy field locked in, or it's wide open for energy vampires, if we will. So in today's episode, I'm going to be spilling the tea on what really is draining your biofield and how you can call back your energy and your power from every corner, tune into your own frequency, and then protect your field without cutting yourself off from the people and the things in life that you truly love. So let's get back into your own power. Let's reset what actually lands for you, and let's help that nervous system so you can actually breathe and have that vibe stay true to you. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another Mindful Monday. That's right, I'm your host, your girl, Erica Trindell, also known as the Mindful Mistress. I am here to offer us just some unique insights, some different perspectives so that we can grow spiritually and tune back into our own energy, allowing us to honor every part of our journey. So what I've done lately with Prison Vibes is we're not just about the recovery and the release, we're about the resonance. So your own frequency and your own energy and how that matters. So if you're new here, I'm going to just, say I'm going to keep it real because I give you the science and the sacred tea mixed together. Some days I'm a little bit more clinical studies. Some days I'm a little bit more coherent talks. Other days it could be, sis, your aura is leaking. So we're going to get it together because healing holds multitudes, and we are multidimension beings. We're multidimensional beings, and we deserve to be loved and supported in every aspect of who we are. But it's about connecting to our true resonance and understanding what that is and how we can flow with our own frequency. So today, what I'm talking about is really the truth behind burnout and why your energy field might be the actual reason why the rest that you've been getting, the pause you've been taking, all of the self-care you've been doing just ain't hitting like it should. So, shall we? Are you ready? Let's dive in. I'm super excited to talk about our biofield and what that really means. I feel like it is the missing link because so often times when we talk about burnout, we're talking about stress and chronic stress. And again, if you're new to my channel, you probably in almost every video I'm talking about trauma, and trauma is a chronic stress on our system. So it all relates back to that. But our biofield, our energy field, plays a huge critical part of this burnout piece. So your biofield, which is also, you might hear your aura or your electromagnetic field, is it's a subtle energy system that surrounds our body and really goes through us as well. So let me be clear. Your biofield is something that is like your own signature, but not quite like our fingerprints, because our fingerprints, unless you burn yourself, your fingerprint stays the same. It doesn't change. Now, when we talk about our biofield, it breathes, it shifts, it responds to our environment. Every feeling that we have, our biofield starts to respond to that. So even though it's our own unique signature, it does change the vibrational atmosphere, if you will. So think of I think of the earth and how we have the different ozone layers. Think of your biofield as that, your own personal energetic ecosystem, if you will. So some days that ecosystem could feel like, I don't know, it's sunny and it's bright and it's clear and everything's great. Your energy is protected. Other days it could be foggy. It could be heavy. It could be chaotic. You could feel weighed down by emotion, whether it be your own emotion or somebody else's, because it's porous. So just like the Earth's atmosphere, it protects the life by filtering out certain things, by regulating what goes in and out. There's that, I think of the membrane, right? It allows certain things in, but not everything in, because it has that layer of protection. That's the same thing with our own biofield. So it decides whether really we're thriving or we're surviving in this burnout mode. So to take this a little bit deeper, your biofield holds your own frequency. So think of your biofield as like the actual container that you are in, the space, the atmosphere, and your frequency is the vibration you're sending out into the world. It's beautiful. It is your heart song that you sing. Now, that signal or that heart song can be distorted if you've got holes in your biofield, right? So the most beautiful song could sound like crap, or could sound like if we're changing genres, right? You could be playing this beautiful R&B or jazz song, and you've got holes in your biofield, and it comes out like, I don't know, punk rock or something like that. So it could be distorted by outside noise as well. So when your vibe is actually locked in and your frequency flows clean and clear, you've got that undeniable power where you are home and centered to yourself. So that's a little bit of the difference to help you understand how your biofield impacts you on a day-to-day basis. And so you can maybe make some of those connections, either thinking of a time in the past or as you go through life now. So I want to talk. I did have a client, and I don't want to talk about just myself and Coachella last week, but I had a client who who told me that every time she's with her family, she feels wrecked. Like, not because she doesn't love her people, right? She totally loves her people, but she really didn't know how to be with her family and hold her own energy at the same time. Now, I'm going to admit that I've definitely been there. I've been to family outings, gatherings, etc., where I feel like ish afterwards. And I didn't know what was going on, but now that I've been studying more about how energy works, how vibration works, I understand that I was taking on their own energy. So my biofield was poor. So again, like my client, her biofield was porous because she was like a sponge. She was soaking up everybody else's energy. She was listening. She was being there. And I was like that too, if I'm honest with you. Last week in Palm Springs, not only did I have Coachella, but I decided I wanted to schedule in some family time and chill with my beautiful nieces who are just growing like weeds. So I was going to be Auntie Erica. But so here I am. I've still got my ears ringing from Coachella. And then I've got the little ones literally hanging off each of my limbs. It was this beautiful chaos that surrounded me. But I definitely started to feel on edge and started to feel, okay, my biofield is starting to get porous. I am losing my capacity. So one of the things in like trauma-informed language, we talk about like your window of resilience. So that is, hey, when you are feeling good, great, and center, you've got your window of resilience. Let's say it's this big. And when maybe you're overstimulated or you're triggered, your window starts shrinking and shrinking, and maybe you don't even have a window. So that's typically when we see people like blow up, right? Like, oh my God, don't ask me another question or stuff like that. What aids to this is, of course, boundaries. Now, again, if I think it was like 3 videos or so ago, I talked about boundaries, but from a different perspective. Boundaries, they aren't walls, they're filters, they're vibrational filters. And so they really help us stay connected, not only to ourselves, but to the people and things in life that we love. And so I had talked about this, like I went into depth on how to reshape and reframe our mind around boundaries being energy filters to really help us out. Because one of the things, at least that I found, is when I'm able to take what seem like really large or difficult concepts and kind of pull myself out of them and pull, personally what I'm going through out of it and look at it from the science aspect or the energy aspect, I'm able to really understand what's really going on, what really is the issue, and then I can apply that solution to my life without all of the noise that typically comes because we're filtered through the lens of our past experience. So by looking at boundaries in that way, it really helps us utilize them more because we realize that this is a beautiful membrane that's here to protect us and the ones we love and allow us to fully show up. Because it's not about having the right mindset when it comes to boundaries, especially if you're like Swiss cheese and your aura has got so many holes. You cannot affirm your way out of that, sis. I'm sorry. Like when your vibe is wide open to everybody, or when they're static, you can't affirm, you can't journal, you can't meditate your way out of that. You have to come to that realization. You have to use that vibrational awareness and your own vibrational intelligence to know what frequencies you truly need in that moment so that you can come home to yourself. So I want to talk about, what that's like when you have like a leaky biofield, when you have a porous biofield, or when you have dissonance. So I wanted to break this down because not all energy disruptions look the same or feel the same. So to give us just common language that we can use with one another or just use with ourselves so we can better understand what is going on at an energetic level. So when you have a leaky field, the energy is flowing out unintentionally. You are just leaking your energy everywhere. You are, maybe this shows up as like you're just giving, you're constantly holding space, you're showing up for everybody, but you're actually running on fumes. You can't seem to fill up your cup no matter how much you rest. You rest, but your tank still feels empty. Does that sound like you? Does that resonate? Put a 1 in the comment section if that's you, and that means you have a leaky field, or put leaky field. All right, so for a porous field, this is where you are absorbing energy that is not yours. So you're picking up on everybody's moods, their drama, their projections. Maybe you're carrying the stress and emotions that don't even belong to you. I know I've done that quite a bit. So put it 2 if that's you and you are experiencing a porous field. Now, the last one is a dissonant field. So this is where you have that like scrambled frequency. Maybe it feels a little bit chaotic, vibrationally chaotic. So like you have 2 radio stations that are both playing at the same time. Maybe it's static and noise and confusion is what this could feel like. This could be like overstimulation, indecisiveness, or just you feel emotionally overwhelmed. So if you are feeling emotionally overwhelmed, put a 3 in in the comments if you recognize that you are having a dissonance in your biofield right now. And so when any of these field states, they start to change your natural frequency, your own vibrational signature can't broadcast clearly. So your signal gets jammed and you might feel off. And this is the root cause of so many of our burnouts and emotional exhaustion. It's just that people make the mistake is that we've just been too busy. So that's what it is. So I need to clean and clear my plate. But that's not really the source. It's not about your schedule. It's about your frequency hygiene. Are you clean or not? Are you clean or not? So, boundaries as frequency filters, they protect our biofield. So like I mentioned, if you've been rocking with me, like even if you've only been seeing the last, like I said, few episodes, I talk about boundaries extensively. They aren't about, saying no to that connection. It's about saying yes to your own coherence, coming back home to yourself. They're not walls. This isn't where you shut down. They're filters, they're frequency filters. So it's so important when you realize that you've got one, two, or three to use something like boundaries that can really help you move through life and come back home to your own frequency and repair your leaky, porous, or dissonant aura. So when we soak up emotions that aren't ours, our nervous system, especially those of us who've been through trauma, any form of trauma, our nervous system it gets on high alert. And we're literally like just waiting for the next fire we have to put out. Maybe your heart rhythm gets kind of messy or chaotic. That's your heart variability rate, which is something that a lot of health, like wearables nowadays, start to track. And when you actually take the time to tend to your biofield, you're able to fill in those holes and not allow the leaky, not be phased by the dissonance or have the porous where you're taking on other people's emotions. It really helps with your own emotional clarity, your own emotional IQ sharpens, your vitality changes as well. Because when we think about the impact of stress, and particularly chronic stress that it has on our lives, not to mention, I think it's 5 out of the top 10 leading causes of death are related to chronic stress. And so if you're someone like me who's disproportionately impacted by stress, leveraging your biofield and creating boundaries is really a game changer, not just in how you feel today, but how you set yourself up for health and vitality going forward. So at the end of the day, this is really all just vibrational awareness. And when we're able to practice it intentionally, they're the difference, you can grow what I like to call your vibrational intelligence. So your ability to start sensing this, to be able to regulate, and then to be able to ride your frequency, even when life is kind of loud as hell, even when it's crazy, even when it's like Coachella loud. Because when you're able, listen, when life gets crazy, because it's going to happen, the best thing you can do is have the ability to come home to yourself and ride the wave of crazy chaos and noise. And it almost gets to a point where, I don't say you're unfazed by it, but on a certain level, it doesn't trigger you. Let's say that it doesn't trigger you like it would. So the question is, will your field hold or will it be leaky when life is crazy, when the next storm comes? Because life is about this very cyclical nature where we've got these beautiful periods of peace, and then we've got calm and storm and chaotic and energy and love and light and all of the things. So something to think about. So let's not just talk about it. Let's actually try to tune in together. I would love if you are in a place in space, and if you feel safe to do so, just take a moment with me, and maybe you close your eyes, maybe you don't. Maybe you just kind of sit with yourself, whether your grounding mechanism is your breath, whether it is your hearing, maybe it's your sight, whatever you'd like to ground to in this moment. I invite you to place one of your hands on your heart and another hand on your belly. So this is a beautiful way to usher in coherence, heart coherence especially. But just taking some moment to just sit with this for a while. Your hand on your heart and on your belly. You can't see my belly. Thank God, because like I said, I just got back from Coachella. So she's a little more rounder than normal, but it's all good. It's all love. But as you sit here, maybe I invite you to take some deep breath in. Maybe inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. So let's try this together. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. And just take some regular breaths. And as you do this, I just want you, maybe in your mind's eye, whether your eyes are closed or open, I want you to envision your own biofield. What does that feel like? Sensing the area around your body, that beautiful membrane. that beautiful Biofield. I've got somewhat dyslexic and a little bit of a list of Biofield, the Biofield. But just kind of feel into that. And there maybe are certain parts that feel heavy. Maybe there's certain parts that feel light. Maybe you're light all around. Just feel into that. Just so you understand what that feels like, what it's like today, in this moment. Because you can walk into the next room and it can be completely different. So just holding on to that for maybe a few more breaths or a few more anchoring moments, your sit bones. I get to hear the beautiful birds outside, so I like to anchor to them sometimes. But just sitting with that for a few more breaths. And then if you closed your eyes, feel free to open your eyes. Maybe you take a moment, pause the video, you journal, you write it down, you do a voice note of how that felt, where there was heaviness, and maybe you meditate on that, or you visualize where there was heaviness or lightness, or what it felt for you to just truly know that you are held by this beautiful energy that you actually co-create with the environment. I would love if you shared that in the comments or send me a DM on Insta. Happy to hear how that felt for you and kind of what came up for you as you just sat in your own energy. You took some time to sit in to energy and really help connect to your own harmony and your own biofield. I love it. So for those of you who took a pause and took a break, we're back now. I really hope that our talk today on the biofield and how biofield and burnout are really one well, they're connected. I don't want to say one and the same. They're connected. I want you to know that your energy is sacred. You are sacred. Your biofield is your vibrational home. It's home to you always. And as you move, you honor it. You honor your home. And by adding in boundaries, by maybe clearing it, I don't know if you've watched Housewives. I won't tell you which one, but there's a certain individual who likes to clear her aura, clear her biofield. That definitely works. Her biofield. So you can definitely do that as another tool for cleansing your biofield and helping so that it is not porous, that you're working on any dissonance, or if it's just leaky. Coming home to yourself where you're able to become the architect of your own energy, your own frequency, your own resonance. Pause and reflect with me, if you will. How has your atmosphere been today? Is your field feeling, is it clear, or is it feeling contaminated, thin, porous, overstimulated? Again, just taking a moment. If you do this every day for a week, I guarantee you will start increasing your ability for that vibrational awareness, and then also that vibrational intelligence where you're able to really reflect and provide yourself with the appropriate tool that you need, whether it's an aura cleansing, whether it's bringing another sound in to help you manage and navigate your field. If you're experiencing some dissonance or some leakiness, maybe you are taking a moment to sit with that and sending love and light to the porous place, or you're instituting those boundaries, whatever that is for you. Let me know too. Let's keep this conversation going. Let me know what works for you, because we're all different. We're all dynamic individuals, and what works for you in this moment may not be what works for me, and vice versa. So share the comments below. Like I said, you can always DM me on Insta. I love when I get insights, and we're here to help each other navigate this and break our prism of limitations. And the more information we're able to garner, and not only garner, but internalize to make it our own, the more we're able to expand to our fullest potential. So if this episode at any point, Coachella lungs. As this episode at any point resonated with you, please share it with someone whose energy field maybe needs a little bit of little love, a little hug today. Like, share, subscribe, do all of the things. Until next time, stay radiant, stay tuned, and as always, attuned to what helps you feel whole and supported. Thank you so much for today. Bye.